The Backrooms. You've been here before. Entity number 333, Lorenzo Windsor. Image caption: a detailed artistic depiction of Entity 333 by one of his witnesses. Description: Entity 333, aka Lorenzo Windsor, is a widely rumored entity known to appear to new wanderers via their minds, specifically those who have lost significant memories of their lives in the front rooms. Although there is no concrete proof of his existence, he seems to have the ability to visit humans he chooses to interact with, as evidenced by multiple reports. Due to the death of any proper eyewitnesses, there exists various contrasting information on the entity. However, according to our existing files, Lorenzo is typically reported to have, quote, multicolored kaleidoscopic eyes and dirty blonde hair with moderately long bangs, with its tips having red streaks, end quote. His clothing varies depending on the person, though he is usually described wearing, quote, a tuxedo consisting of a black button up shirt, a yellow vest, and a red suit, covered by a dark red royal robe. He is also often seen possessing a ruby amulet and a gray caravat. Some sources suggest he wears an off white button up shirt, and others reported him to be a faceless, glitching being. Despite a drastic variety of details, there remains one consistent variable in these reports. That is, the presence of an uncanny, glitching crown sitting on top of the entity's head, with spires similar to that of spiders' legs. Biology: Lorenzo is known to be a humanoid reminiscent of a young Caucasian male, allegedly around the age of 15 to 18, standing at an average mean of 5'9". Although possessing a biology similar to humans, he was reported to have a quote unquote dread signature. The quote unquote dread signature he gives off can only be described by all of our subjects as a paranoia inducing aura, which causes a person's repressed experiences to forcefully resurface, oftentimes driving them into an almost deja vu like trance state. Being in close contact with the entity for more than 5 minutes may cause one's memories to quote unquote melt and quote unquote corrode, or go under anamnesis discovery. Although we have not yet seen active sightings of Lorenzo, he has been a notable figure to most new wanderers who seem to have lost chunks of memories prior to no clipping. So far, everyone who reported this strange man consecutively noted a quote unquote crown on his head, concluding he might actually exist and is, in fact, not a result of mass hysteria or collective hallucination. Below is a recording of 3 interviews regarding Lorenzo Windsor, given that they are some of the most detailed files we have so far. Interview: Report on Lorenzo Windsor. Case number 1. Interviewer: Meg Officer. Interviewee: Alex. Name supplemented for anonymity. Aged 36. Meg Officer: What happened the first time you got here? Alex: It was a dream. No, a memory. I think. There was a man, a strange young man. He didn't seem harmful, but he was there. I saw him looking at me blankly. He seemed like he was observing me. Everything seemed so real, as if as if I was there, in front of him. The silence, it was deafening. Meg Officer: Is that all? Did he tell you his intentions? Alex: No, he did not say anything. He simply, uh, he simply summoned a cup of tea and drank it. He did not even greet me or whatever. Weird guy. His eyes were weird, colorful, despondent, nostalgic, like he's remembering something. Meg Officer: Huh. And what else did he do? Alex: He later spoke? He spoke via that brain thing. Meg Officer: Telepathy? Alex: Yes, that. He spoke to me. He did not have a voice. He did not open his mouth. He just shoved a bunch of words into my head, as if they were my thoughts, but they were not. Meg Officer: Hey, it's okay. He's not here. What was said? Alex: Well, he told me his name, Lorenzo Windsor or something. Claimed he was some form of king. I, I mean, he had this weird crown thing on his head, so I guess that checks out. But he also said he's been watching me through my memories. Meg Officer: What else did you feel? Alex: I felt the wind. I felt it. And then I stared at them, into his eyes, and I felt I felt off. So damn off. It was this thing, this dread, like an energy, an aura, so unlike anything I've ever encountered. He knew my name, my past, and yet I I've got no clue on what my old life was all about. His eyes, they showed it to me. He showed me my future through memories I had not yet experienced, and how I am going to die. How I'm, oh God, oh fucking God. Meg officer, please calm down. Do you want to go home? Alex stared at his hands. Meg officer. Alex? Alex was unresponsive for a few moments. Meg officer. Alex? Alex. Officer? Meg officer. Alex, what's wrong? Alex. I want to see my family again. Please, please, I want to see them again. Tell them I am sorry. Please, please. Alex began to behave erratically, thrashing around the area. A few men were tasked to hold him down, and Alex was eventually sedated. The next day, Alex was missing from the outpost. A letter was then found lying on his table, dedicated to someone he claimed he misses dearly. It has been rumored that since then, Alex developed something close to a fugue and went on to search for a quote unquote family that never existed in the first place. His whereabouts are currently unknown. Conclusion: Lorenzo, while unmalicious, is still under research due to the disastrous effects that affect human beings during encounters with him. Interview: Report on Lorenzo Windsor, case number 2. Interviewer: Meg Officer. Interviewee: Bob. Name supplemented for anonymity. Aged 62. Meg Officer. So you're one of the other witnesses of this Lorenzo entity. Bob. It was not just an entity. Meg Officer. Sorry, what did you just say? Bob. Listen to me, officer. These things, entities, or whatever you want to call them, they were not to be trifled with. I saw what this thing was able to do. The amount of stuff he knew about me. It was creepy as hell. As if he was some god. It was weird. His aura. Meg Officer. Mm-hmm. Was it the same man as what everyone else told us about? Bob. No, he was not. He looked really weird, like his entire face was glitching and loading like a black screen. He had this weird crown, and he did not have a mouth, like none at all, but he spoke anyway. And I have to tell you right fucking now, we should delete everything we know about this guy. Meg Officer. We cannot do that, Bob. Bob. He didn't have a face. Meg Officer. He. What? Bob seemed anxious. He didn't have a face. He wore white clothes, but he had no face. Meg Officer. What do you mean by no face, Bob? Like a face link? Bob. He had no face. It was all a void. Staring at me. Staring at me. Meg Officer. Did he tell you anything? Bob begins to cry. Bob. I was told to forget what happened to my wife, as the pain may be too unbearable for me. Meg Officer. Anything else? Bob begins to shake. Bob. I I stared. I stared into the ravine which was his face. I can never go back. Meg Officer. Where, Bob? To where? Meg. I want my dearest Masha. Please, give her back to me. Meg Officer. Was Masha your wife, Bob? What happened to her? Bob did not respond. After that event, Bob was rendered mute and was sent to therapy. Conclusion: Bob's brain scans revealed a very rapid onset of cognitive decline. Moreover, further tests showed signs for a possible diagnosis of dementia, as evidenced by unnatural and abrupt atrophy in his frontal lobe and hippocampal area. Interview. Report on Lorenzo Windsor, case number 3. Interviewer. Meg Officer. Interviewee. Dorothy Wells, aged 22. Dorothy. Hi. Meg Officer. Hello, Dorothy. Are you able to recount your encounter? Dorothy shivered and nodded. Dorothy. He told me his name was Lorenzo. He had this weird crown on. She took a deep breath. Dorothy. I didn't look into his eyes. He didn't want me to. Meg Officer. What did he look like? Dorothy. He was like a man, but there was something wrong with him. And he had some dread. Meg Officer. Describe it. Dorothy. Scary. Like he's staring at my soul through the lens of my past. He knew my mother. He said she abandoned me when I was 7. I didn't remember having met her at all. Meg Officer. What else did Lorenzo mention? Dorothy. I didn't remember. I just I just knew I need to keep living on. Conclusion. During this encounter with Lorenzo, Dorothy temporarily developed false memories of her past. Although Miss Wells never experienced anything serious, she often drew images of the entity. However, most of them were thrown to the fire by Dorothy herself after slowly recovering from the event. She is currently taking therapy and is doing well under the care of the Meg. Behaviors. Although knowledge pertaining to Lorenzo is still widely unknown, he has been reported to act calm, quiet, and asocial, showing intense aversion towards any form of touch and eye contact, as anyone who would stare directly into his eyes may experience the effects of, or something similar to, Phenomenon 43, Forbidden Info. It seems as if he does not want any mortal to experience these effects, hence his avoidance. It is unclear if he is able to control it. He has been reported to have the ability to consume food, as evidenced by one of the interviews with Alex. Whether he needs this to survive or not is up for debate. Furthermore, according to witnesses, Lorenzo has been quite helpful, oftentimes assisting people in near states of amnesia remember their past to give them the vigor to keep going on. A common theory among wanderers who have encountered him suggests that he might either be doing this out of his own free will or that he feels a strong or certain need to. Reports suggest that he is especially docile to children, to whom he would seldomly hum a few songs. He would do so while staring at the floor or somewhere else in a disassociative, idle state, reminiscing about something of which is still unspecified.